Well, hello, I'm Honman and Sage Man, and welcome back to Let's Interview. And this week, it's been the first time I've done this in about 6 months, is my lovely guest, who,
Hi there. I'm Lucy Fallen. I'm an alternative model. I'm a musician and I'm a YouTuber, and I do a couple of other pretty fun things as well.
how did you, how's things? Oh, I like obviously I'm not going to use visual, it'll all be audio and some images, but they can't
hmm
see the Jack skeleton behind you.
Oh yeah, it's just like a piggy bank. It's pretty cool.
Nice. So, what got you into modeling?
Um, if I'm being honest, like jealousy and envy. When I was a teenager, I was really like nerdy and kind of weird. I had short, spiky blonde hair, and I remember I knew this girl who was an alternative model. And I remember thinking, I want to be like that. I want to do that. I want to like change everything about myself to become the kind of person that does that. So over the course of a couple of years, I sort of gradually became like a more confident person, the kind of person that can do that sort of thing. And this is me. That's sort of how it started, I guess.
Um, oh, empty. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes feel like people are just not telling the truth. Like, I just fell into it.
Oh no, no, I'm like really open with the fact that it was mainly due to me wanting to be more like the people that I saw doing it. So I kind of turned all the negative feelings I had and the jealousy and stuff into positive, and I like made it like me. I became like this person. I guess I was just really lucky that when I started, it turns out I was actually pretty good at it. So it was quite lucky.
That is always that's always good. What age were you when you first started?
Um, when I started doing photo shoots, I think I was a couple of months shy of 18, but I only really count the time that I was modeling like properly. I only count the last maybe 2 years. So when I was like 20, I kind of the first like from the ages of 18 to 20, I was doing like one or two shoots every couple of months, and it wasn't a serious thing, and I still didn't know what I was doing. And there was kind of like a shifting point where just all of a sudden I was getting booked every week or two at least, and was like doing it properly.
Uh, nice. So you're busy all the time then.
Um, yeah, I'm pretty busy. I'm just back from Sex Exhibition, which was like the biggest kind of fetish and alternative modeling and like sex convention in the UK. So I was like picked to be one of the models for that, so that was really cool.
Oh, where does that take place for
Manchester.
Manchester?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Is there any So I found you through your music, not your vlogs. How far have you gone with your like music career? Because I've seen you do some view covers.
Okay, well, I I don't know if you know this, but I've studied music in higher education for 4 years. Well, I'm not finished, but I'm taking a break right now. I studied for 2 years at college, and then I did my second and third year at university, and right now I'm taking a break. Um, but yeah, I've been kind of doing music for a couple of years. I've started on YouTube doing really, really bad covers, like really bad. Like before, I decided to study it, and when I still didn't know very good technique or anything, I started with that, and then they were crappy, and I got trolls. They got maybe like 200 of each, and I deleted that channel, and I like kind of tried to focus on being like better. So when I set up my new channel, I did a couple of videos, and I like actually can't stand them now because I'm so much better now. But um, I still have those there, and I'm kind of planning to get more into it in the next couple of months, maybe do a couple more, but I'm not sure.
Um, so, person of many talents,
Yeah.
modeling and music. What music genres would you be into? Like, I'm sure you're not into like Britney Spears and all this.
No, well, the main sort of things I'm into are like very alternative, not so much metal anymore. I used to be like a big metal fan. I kind of drifted away from that because the stuff I'm doing right now is kind of more synth bass, kind of dark electronic stuff. That's kind of what I'm listening to mainly. But because I studied it for so long, one of the first things that they drill out of you is like not being into other genres. Like when you're studying music properly, like they're like to you, you need to have an appreciation for pretty much every kind of music. So I can listen to pretty much anything. I'm a massive musical fan. I'm like kind of a little sad like that, but I can listen to anything really.
Was what was college? Because I did college for computers,
Hmm.
and I felt college was just testing you to see do you still love it.
Yeah.
Did the music, did it kill you, or if you appreciate it enough, would did you stay while you're still doing it?
Um. Well, when I did my 2 years at college, it was really good because it was really practical and we got a lot done. But when I went and I moved to do it at uni, I found that uni was the thing that really kind of killed it for me. And I've been going for a couple of months where I'm just like not wanting to touch it. But so yeah, uni did kill it for me. I've got a couple of things that I can't really talk about music-wise that I'm in the middle of doing that are like really insanely exciting. But like the last couple of months, it literally made me hate music. It was so like clinical, and it was just all writing about just like bullshit. It was horrible. So that's kind of why I'm taking a few years out because I just couldn't stand to do it for another year. It was horrid. It kind of did like really kill it for me.
I know someone who just finished 4 years of music college,
Yeah.
and she's like the best thing I've ever heard, and her and her brother do loads of gigs and all in Dublin. They
Hmm.
do, and she does an insanely good um, Dolly Parton version of Jolene,
Uh-huh.
and it's just insanely good. I wish I had a clip to pull it in, but I don't. um, but she was like, her boyfriend's doing at college, and she was like, it just really pushes you to see do you still like it. It just,
Yeah.
it's like that. It must be one of the main tests of college. Gonna push you. If you like it, you're gonna stay to the end. If you don't like it, you're gonna just hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a really difficult thing to study. I know like when I was at college, when I did my first year we had like a full class of 30 people and then by oh no, wait, we had like 20 to 30 singers and by the end of our second year there was five of us. Like that many people dropped out. It was like really trying.
Was it difficult or was it just killing?
Um, it wasn't I guess it depends how, like, if you're good at writing essays and if you're good at like jumping through hoops, it's easy. It's not technically difficult. It's more the process because I feel like the college and uni environment isn't very like it isn't the sort of environment in which people who tend to be musicians thrive, if you know what I mean. So most of the people that I know that dropped out were very much the more informal, kind of artsy, musician-y dudes, whereas all the people that stayed were the ones that just happened to be able to write essays and jump through all the hoops and everything. I came very close to quitting, but I like refused to quit. Like it was so hard. I just had to like the last couple of months I had to really push through it because it was really hard.
what got you into what got you into music? Well,
Um,
picking up a guitar and
well, I was given a guitar when I was 10, and I played it a little bit. I got lessons, and then like I stopped getting lessons after about a year, and then I didn't really pick it up until I was about 15 or so. And at that time, I was about to do my standard grades and everything. I was about to do all my exams, and it kind of just so happened that I did really badly in all of my exams, and music was one of the only things that I was like, I could study this and it would be fine. I think partially it was because I kind of wanted, like, I went to go study at college, and my idea when I like started was that I'd spend a year or two doing that, and while I was doing that, I'd kind of figure out what else I wanted to do. This was like before all of the modelling and everything else that I do as well. So um, it just so happened that while I was studying it, I got so much better and I learned so much that I decided to just keep going with it.
mm,
Um, so that's kind of what happened.
that's good. So you had a previous YouTube channel, you said, and what made you? Was it you just deleted it? You didn't want to start over. You just deleted the whole channel and made a new one.
Um, well, yeah, it a kind of crappy username. It like a one with numbers and stuff, and I think that was kind of before it was easy to like change it. And I don't know, all of the covers on it were crappy, and all of the vlogs I'd made when I still didn't know how to really format vlogs, so they were kind of boring and overlong, and my camera was rubbish, and um, I felt like I needed a fresh start, and I'd come up with the name Lucy Fallen. Although at the time, like my username's the Lucifer Fallen, so that's kind of where Lucy Fallen came from.
All
Uh,
right.
so that kind of like happened, and well, actually, the main reason I kind of just deleted it was I was still at high school, and it's so sad, but someone in my year at high school decided to troll it, and he'd set up all these accounts, and he'd comment on all of my videos saying that I should kill myself and everything. And I kind of, after like a month or two of that, I was just like, you know what, I'll just delete it and start over again, and maybe it'll be a little while before he finds me, and he never did. So,
Huh.
there we yeah.
Do you deal with any trolls or anything like that on your new YouTube channel?
Um, no. I think I was just unlucky on my old channel that someone from my high school found out. But my new channel, like on occasion, I'll get a comment where they're like, I don't like your singing, or um, I like the original version better, or usually they're like, they don't understand like how I look. Um, so they'll say something like that. I got a recent one actually when I was talking about how I got into like alternative and like latex modeling, and someone just put daddy issues.
Oh God.
And I was like, no. Um, yeah, that's a conception that people think about me a lot that isn't true. But I'm actually like, it's actually really good. I don't get anything very often, and I feel like because I got trolled when I started out and it was really bad, and I kind of went through it, I've got like a really thick skin now, so when I get a nasty comment, it honestly doesn't affect me. I read it and I'm like, someone took like a couple of minutes out of their day to like write this, and I'm like literally going to delete it, and I've just wasted a couple of minutes of their life. How amazing is that? That's kind of how I see it now.
I rarely write comments on videos. Like if I'm angry, I'm not gonna do anything. I'll stop watching a video. But I don't think I've ever got to the point like this is so bad I had to write a comment about you should kill yourself.
Yeah, it's so weird because I don't know. I'm like the kind of person when I'm watching people on YouTube, I wouldn't like 99% of the time I won't even leave a like or a dislike, I won't comment, I'll watch the video, and usually I'll like it and then I'll just move on. You know, I don't really like leave feedback at all, so it's kind of weird. I don't quite get it why people like feel the need. I like sometimes I get big, massive, long comments of people asking me all these questions and like nitpicking stuff that I've said, and I'm like, why? You know, like you don't know me. Why are you spending all this time like nitpicking something I said? Seems a bit pointless.
Yeah. A lot of the comments on YouTube are a bit pointless.
Yeah, that's why I don't write them because
I
um,
I get sometimes get positive comments. Like
mhm,
on one of my old YouTube channels, I got a comment from an American saying, "I love the way you say Mario."
mhm,
I was like, I mentioned that in every video for about a year. Just constantly repeated that comment and said Mario a lot in the next video. But like I start getting a lot of once you get over like 100 subscribers, and I'm like at 600 now.
mhm.
Uh, you get so many just random like you should kill yourself. You're not funny.
Yeah.
Or I did one where Professor Juice, and I did a trailer for the thing because she's a very comedic YouTuber,
Mhm.
and someone was like, "See, I just don't understand. You're not funny. Why are you trying to be funny? I don't get it." And I was like, "Oh, thanks for the comment." And then they were repeat. They were like, "Yeah, like you're trying to be funny, but yeah." Like I love if I get like a really stupid comment, I just either reply sarcastically or really positively. It's like, "Oh, thanks for the taking your time out," or I straight up ban them if they go kill yourself. Because I've got a few go kill yourself.
Mhm.
Why waste your time?
Yeah. I think the most recent one, well, actually, it's not very recent, but the one that sticks out right now is when I got my side cut and I shaved it down the first time. I made a video and someone posted, "Why did you do that? You're like mocking cancer survivors." And the only times I've actually like responded to someone, I just made this big comment and I said, surely if I was mocking cancer survivors, I'd have shaved my whole head and not just like the right third of it. And then I kind of went on to talk about my relatives that have had cancer, and I'm like, that's like really insensitive and everything, and they apologized, so that was nice.
Did they actually apologize? Oh,
Yeah,
that's rare. That's
yeah. It was like I don't know. That's one of like usually I don't even respond to them, but I kind of had to for that one. I don't know. It's kind of I think that's the most recent one that actually kind of sort of affected me because I was like, someone genuinely thinks I'm like walking about with part of my head shaved to mock cancer survivors and people with cancer. Like, why? It's so
yeah.
silly.
I love people's logic sometimes.
Hmm.
Or they only like clicked halfway through the video or missed most of it, and they just jumped to conclusions.
Hmm. Yeah.
How did you find the do you get positive comments? You must get positive comments.
Yeah, I get a decent amount of positive comments. Although because they're positive, they all kind of blur together, so I can't actually remember any off the top of my head. Usually, it's just people saying like "nice video," whatever. If it's another YouTuber that I know that just happens to have commented, they're like, "Oh, love your hair in this video" or something, like that. They're usually really kind of boring, but I do uh, I do get a decent amount of positive comments. It's like way more positive than negative,
But
luckily.
you can never remember. You can never remember the positive. You only remember.
Yeah.
That's always good. So when you decided to do a new YouTube channel, was it? How did you like network? Do you find network is important when it comes to YouTube and your modeling?
Um, I kind of I spend a lot more time networking with modeling now. I'm kind of like YouTube has gone a lot lower in my list of priorities. I've been really lucky that with YouTube and the style I have and the sort of videos that I make, there's actually, I don't know if you know this, there's like a quote unquote goth YouTube community. And all the kind of gothy YouTubers, for the most part, we're all in groups and we're all friends with each other on Facebook. So when my channel was kind of in its infancy, that was all really starting up. So a lot of the people that are subscribed to me are all part of this community. So that really helped at first, and that was like a big networking thing. But yeah, now I don't really like. I'll keep up to date with how many subscribers I've got. I think right now I've got just over 5,500, but I'm kind of like way more focused on getting my modelling numbers up right now. I'm trying to hit 15,000 by the end of the year.
Do you keep up with any of the drama on YouTube?
Um, Not any of the big drama. Usually just the goth YouTube drama. And sometimes I actually really enjoy watching all the stuff about. I don't know if you watch any like J vlogging channels. They have loads of drama. Like the J vloggers, but not any of like the mainstream drama. I don't know like. I couldn't even name any big
So
dramas.
Leafy is here or Keemstar. You don't know any of that.
I've heard about it, but I don't know like what the deal is. I think I watched I Hate Everything's video on one of it, and he was just like rolling and like crawling along the carpet for 10 minutes and like babbling. And I love I Hate Everything, but it didn't help. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I care enough. What is it about
See,
actually?
I don't really know. They just seem to hate each other.
Yeah, well, I watched I Hate Everything's video and I was like, I don't really care, but I didn't answer any questions, and it's just, it like seems like this big thing that, I don't know. Who else do I watch? I watch, like The Drunken Peasants and The Amazing Atheists, so like all of their drama I like as well. I don't know if you watch any of
I
their
watched
stuff.
Amazing H's now and again. He seems so
Hmm.
amazing.
I love TJ. But his podcast, The Drunken Peasants, they get in fights with people. I think like Vegan Gains and Brett Keane and stuff, and it's like really fun. Um, but yeah, I don't keep up with any of the really like big stuff.
Good. Like it's I try to keep up because like Philip DeFranco, I watch his stuff and
Hmm.
he tries to keep up, but it always seems to be something else. It's like Leafy and
Yeah,
Keemstar and Drama. They just all seem to be used to be really good friends, and now just hate each other.
yeah.
And I felt because I like watching Onision.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I just like I used to be really big into Leafy's here. Then Onision pointed out how he makes every video is like he waits till halfway point, so he's already
Hmm.
made money for people watching to the halfway point, and then he gets to the point of the video. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn you, Onision, why did you break the mirror? Now I know what's going on. So I stopped watching Leafy's here, and now I just
Mm.
watch more and more Onision, and I can't stop watching Onision.
I actually like I can't stand
No one
Onision.
can. No one can.
I hate him. I got a comment a couple of weeks ago. Someone commented in one of my videos and he's like, "Oh my god, I think you're in one of Onision's new videos." And I like freaked out and I checked and it was like he was looking at I don't know, like goth models. I can't even remember what the name of the video was called, like goth satanic whatever. He was just like on Google Images and it was just a girl with blue
Oh,
hair. No, it wasn't me. And I was really disappointed. um, but at the same time, like, I think I'm happy that Onision doesn't know who I am.
see,
Like,
I'd
uh,
probably like to do a video with Onision. I'd love to interview him, but I'm
mhm.
sure by the end of it, I'd hate him because he just seems like that personality. You get on real great at the start, and then by the end, you're just like, "Oh God, there's 10 more minutes of this. Let's just get kick through it. Let's just go through it."
Yeah.
Right, so like I like doing interviews and not doing loads of research on people, so it's very lazy interview. So I just ask questions I think
Okay.
people like. But I watched one of your videos on why you changed your hair from blue to the new look.
Yeah. To the red and the blonde. Yeah.
And it was over.
Uh,
Just everyone now has that your old style hair.
yeah. Well, I was exaggerating a little bit. But I don't know. Because I know so many other alternative models and YouTubers, a lot of the kind of goth and alternative YouTubers have blue hair. Um, and a lot of them are like my friends and acquaintances, and it was like fine, but I was kind of getting sick of it. Of being like one of the, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them that have blue hair. And when it came to alternative modeling, I saw a couple of girls I know that got blue hair, and I don't know, I was kind of sick of it. So I just decided to go like all over, just do it like it's actually really faded, and I realised that you're not even going to be like showing the video, but it used to
I hope you
be.
didn't get all dolled up for this video.
No, no.
Because
um,
I'm not even. Yeah. All I did was
yeah,
brush my teeth.
trust me, I'm wearing pajama pants underneath here. I'm like not. No, I'm not dolled up just for this. Yeah, my hair freshly dyed is like not quite red, like a dark ginger going into like a lighter
Strawberry,
ginger.
even.
This, yeah, kind of strawberry blonde. It's kind of faded all out to like a strawberry blondie blonde with just kind of like reddish at the roots. And I really like it. I think it's like the best thing I've done in a while. Um, but yeah, um, it's kind of like I don't know. I needed a change.
Will you keep with this color, or are you gonna constantly just change it up?
Well, I'm gonna have to change it at some point just so that my pictures and everything aren't too samey. That was the problem I was having with the blue, was that I'd had it blue for 2 years, and all of my like modeling pictures that I really liked that were like really serious all had blue hair, and I had to change it for that. So I reckon in like a year or two I'll change it out. But I'm gonna keep it like this for a while,
Because
definitely.
when I found you on the Facebook, it was all blue, and then it was just you with a violin. I was like,
Uh-huh.
wow, can she play violin?
Yeah, I can play violin. Violin's my worst instrument. I'm only like a grade 2 violin. Just because I'm really like lazy at it and it takes so long to set up. It's just like by the time I've set it up, I don't even want to touch it.
That's
Um,
interesting. What instruments can you play?
okay, so when I was studying music, my first instrument was vocals, so I guess that's what I'm quote unquote best at. In decreasing level of competency, I also play guitar, piano, bass guitar, and violin. Um, but I'm really good at music theory, so I could probably be like a grade 1 or 2 at most other instruments just because I know kind of what I'm doing.
That's
Um,
good to know.
yeah, I've tried a little bit of like brass instruments and stuff. I've like not got strong enough lungs for it or anything. But you know, it's when you're good at theory to a certain extent, you can transfer it to pretty much any instrument. You know, when you kind of know what you're doing and why what you're doing is working. You
Yeah.
know.
What would your favorite instrument be?
Um, I really like playing guitar, but I also really like piano, and I wish I was better at it.
I need to learn piano.
But lazy. Um, I don't know. I've always, I mean, I love the idea of the violin. I hate it in practice. I think like my dream would be to be an amazing violinist because it even just like looks, and to say that you're a violinist, it sounds really
Yeah, it does.
impressive.
I
Where
saw
if
that
you,
and I was like, whoa, this girl has major
yeah,
skills. Model and
no,
violinist.
minor skills. But I don't know, if I could be really good at violin, like it's just like impressive sounding. I don't know. Um, I don't think like I'd love to be able to play the cello or I don't know, like a bunch of like woodwind stuff would be cool. But it's effort. I was gonna buy a clarinet last year and try my hand at it, but I never got around to it.
Did you buy it or did you just never buy it?
No, I just didn't bother. I was gonna buy like a cheap student one from just like a music shop. And then I remembered that I had to use that money on like important things like food. Um, so I ended up not buying it. Maybe
You do latex modeling. Was that the ones you mainly wanted, or was it just alternative modeling?
um when I started alternative modeling originally, my thought process was that I'd just do fashion and that at most I'd do lingerie. And kind of just over time, with the people that I ended up meeting, because the modelling scene in Scotland is very small, and the alternative modelling scene, especially, is even smaller. So everyone knows everyone else, and it just so happens that a lot of the stuff that gets done is latex. So I think maybe a year and a half ago, I did my first shoot, and the photographer just happened to have some latex, and I wore it, and the pictures turned out really good. So I ended up like doing it more and more, and it's become like this thing. I've got a ridiculous amount of latex like stored in my room, and that's probably like maybe half the time that's what I shoot in there. Which is really weird because I don't like latex. Like nothing about it appeals to me except uh, it looks really good in photos and in real life. But it's so weird. Like I just do not find it. It's stressful. Latex is stressful. Um, because like my nails aren't very long, but when you're putting on something that's expensive, that is really easily tearable, and like there's all this pressure, like don't rip it. You have to put it on, and then you have to like not damage it or ruin it, or it's really stressful. Especially if like it's not mine and I've not bought it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm really lucky though. I've ripped a couple of things, but they've all been mine, and it's all, for the most part, been in places like at the ankle of a pair of latex stockings. So I just kind of fold it over and it's fine. Um, the only bad thing I had happen was I was at an event. I don't know if you know about it. It's called a torture garden. Um, I was at Torture Garden and I got given this lovely custom latex outfit to wear. They'd sent it over to me for free, and the idea was that I was going to wear it to a couple of events and to at least one photo shoot and give them photos. I went to Torture Garden and got really drunk, and at some point, like the outfit was like a little top and a little pair of like pants, stockings, and like arm stockings, and someone with something spiky like went by me and ripped a huge massive hole like bigger than a £2 coin, and then like another little hole just in like the pants of it, and like just in the back of it, and I can't fix it. And actually today I got the package with the new pair because they sent me a new pair for free, but I was so mortified, and I had to I had to message them to say that I'd been really drunk and someone had like ripped a massive hole in this pair of stuff that they'd sent me for free. And it was they're actually really nice about it, but it's not worth it at all. Like it's so stressful. Um, but yeah, it's kind of the main thing that I do now. But I don't find it appealing at all.
is it because you're so known about it at this point with latex modeling you can't move on, or would you like to move on to something else?
Um, well, there's not really too much else that I could move on from because um anything more anything more extreme or anything than latex modeling because most of the girls I know and what I do is like latex fashion modeling, so it's for the most part not like latex fashion modeling and latex fetish modeling are very like different. Latex fashion is like you can get lovely dresses that are like skater dresses and it's not like porn. Latex fetish modeling is usually like for porn, kind of. So the only stuff that I could go that's kind of more extreme is like the porn side of stuff. So I don't know if I'd ever really move on. I feel like I've kind of hit kind of a nice place where I'm not doing like really explicit stuff. I've done some more risque shoots, but the problem with that, well, the good thing about that is that I get paid for that, but the bad thing is that you can't use those images if I do anything explicit, basically anything more explicit than Facebook allows. Like you can't use it anywhere, and it kind of becomes a bit useless unless you're like wanting to go into porn, basically. So it's not really something I've ever been interested in. I've kind of been very conscious not to like cross that line. Um, I mean, I have like I know loads of models that do cross the line and do like cam work or stuff like that, and it's just something I've not like ever really been interested in. So I don't know.
Well,
There's not
well,
really anything else I can do.
well, I know I interviewed a nude model last year, Valentino, and she was saying the hardest thing was promoting her stuff on Facebook,
Yeah,
and she had to put images and censor marks just to put
yeah,
them on Facebook, even though it's like
yeah,
it's killing the original feel of the image. But she's always like, I'll leave the link so you can go and find it. But like it
yeah.
is, I understand like you're trying to promote yourself
Mhm.
in of things you do, and you can't do the more risque things, even if you don't want to. There's something like that Facebook will just like see something and like, no, yeah, that's gone and you're banned.
Yeah, I know so many girls that do stuff more than me and they get banned all the time. And it's not worth it. I'd rather like sometimes I think it would be fun, but I'd rather just not do it at all if it means not having to deal with being banned or being reported or anything. Just make my life easier. So I just kind of don't bother.
That's that's good way of looking at it.
Mhm.
You probably have, and I should do more research when I interview models. YouTubers, it's really easy to interview YouTube. You just had to watch the
Yeah,
last 10 videos.
yeah.
You have been in magazines.
Yes.
Um, what was that? What was your first magazine? Like one of your proudest days, or what has been the proudest day of your modeling career with magazines?
Um, I think the first time I got published, I think I've been published 9 times so far. I've actually, I don't know, I think I'm allowed to talk about this. I've just been confirmed to get my first cover.
Oh,
I'm getting my first cover in a couple of months, so that's exciting. I've been told that I'm getting that. But I got my first feature in a magazine. I think the magazine came out December 2014. Um, and I was working with this amazing photographer. Her name is Louise Cantwell, and she does the most amazing stuff. I've shot for her a couple of times, and every time she gets me published, she is just an absolute sweetheart. Her work is amazing. And the only reason I got that was because I dyed my hair blue. Before I dyed my hair red, dyeing my hair blue was the best thing that happened for my modelling career because I was blonde before and it was boring. Um, I dyed my hair blue, and within a week or two of me doing that, she had messaged me, and she said, "I love your hair. I want to do this like Snow Queen type shoot." Um, and I was really excited because I'd loved her work for ages, and the fact that she was contacting me was kind of like I was kind of freaking out. So I went, and she's got an awesome home studio, and there was a makeup artist there. And they did everything, and it was published in Gothesque magazine,
God,
which was
that's
really
a
cool.
brilliant name.
Yeah, Gothesque. And my parents actually, they have like a triptych of three of the images from that, like framed on the wall, so that when people come in, they can see that. I think that's the one I'm most proud of. I've been featured in nine, not nine separate magazines, but like 9 times. So I've done Gothesque, Surreal Beauty, Twisted
I
Edge.
love the names. I'm just
Um,
loving the names.
yeah, Twisted Edge is kind of affiliated with my agency, but I was featured there before I got signed to Twisted. What else? I've been featured twice in Dames of Deviance magazine as well. And I can't remember what other ones, but yeah, it's uh, it's pretty fun. Getting, I don't know, like even though usually I don't get paid for it, getting published kind of feels like validation. I remember the first time when I got published from that shoot, it was kind of the first time I really felt like an actual model, and that's kind of where I differentiate when I was mucking about being a model and when I like started doing it kind of full time. Um, that was kind of the turning point. Um, but it's really cool. Made uh, I made like a resolution at the start of the year to be published at least 4 times, like
Right.
this year, and I've already like surpassed it by like a couple of months in. Um, I managed to get like one publication each for like the first 3 months, and then I think I had another one a couple of months after that, and I think I've had my fifth one just there, and then I should have my sixth when I'm on the cover. So we'll see.
So I know it's very an awkward thing to, but pay. Do you get
Mm-hmm.
paid, or is this a lot of you had to do a lot of free ones to show what you can do before you can actually get paid, or is money even?
Well,
Are you doing it for the money or just to do it?
um, I think I'm partially doing it for the money. I've been doing it so long that I can like get away with asking for being paid. I'm agency signed, so if anyone tries to book me through the agency, I get paid like usually standard. I think I'm like £25 an hour, like for fashion, and then for higher levels, like with less clothes, it's more money. But I'd say I probably get paid maybe 30 to 40% of the time because a decent amount of the shoots I do are with photographers that are affiliated with the agency, so no one gets paid. I get really cool images, and it's sort of like a
Building blocks.
collaboration. But there's like a, it's not really a rule, but most people tend to agree that when you're starting out modeling and you're building up your portfolio, you should like do that for a year and not really get paid for a year. That's kind of what I did. I didn't get paid for the whole first year that I was modeling, and then I kind of started to get more paid work. It's I don't know. Some people disagree with that. I kind of feel like it's a good thing because then you've got a good enough portfolio that when that year's up, you can maybe start charging. Um, but no, I don't get paid too often, and I don't make enough money just from modeling to like live off of. One day, hopefully, that will change. But right now, I'm sort of just trying to make more contacts. I've kind of like I either know or I've worked with or currently work with all the time all of the alternative models and photographers in Scotland. So for the next year or so, I'm wanting to start like broadening my horizons to like the rest of the UK and start traveling more.
Is it is the scene really big in Scotland?
Um, It's it's decent. There's probably, gosh, I think maybe I've got at least 200 people on Facebook that are models or photographers that are just from Scotland. There's probably more that I'm not friends with, but it's sizable enough. There's a decent enough scene. It's not like I'm working with the same 5 people all the time. Um, but ever since I got signed, I've kind of realised that like everyone kind of knows each other, so it's not so big that like when I do a shoot with someone and I mention another photographer, chances are that they'll know each other. It's kind of it's a decent size, but it's not big enough. I think when I travel the UK, it will be easier to get paid, and I'll be like traveling about. And it'll be really fun. I think that's the plan.
That's good. Going back to the money thing for a second, do you think because you're an artist, it's expected that you should basically starve money wise?
Uh,
Because musicians supposed to do it for like I know of people who've toured and done loads of stuff and never really got paid because they're promoting themselves. But I'm sure it kills when you're like, I've done this. I've put everything I can into this one shoot or this gig, and I've got nothing out of it. Well, I've got something out of it, but there's no way. It's like I'm getting the bus home. I'd like to get a taxi.
um, well, I think like with modeling, uh, the way it works is if I don't get paid, the idea is that um, I if I don't get paid, I usually get more images and I'm free to share them pretty much wherever. Sort of that's kind of the way it works. If I get paid, I have less control over the images. Um, so it's not like whereas if I was out gigging, you could probably say that I didn't actually really gain too much. If I didn't get paid for it, I just stood in a bar and played for half an hour or whatever. At every shoot, I'm at least like getting something out of it. Whether I use it or not is another thing entirely. But um, I don't know. Like I feel like the modeling scene right now is kind of a bit broken. Because models should be getting paid more. Like everyone should be getting paid more, and we don't. A lot of people complain about it because, like, it's more so brands and people wanting to use models and photographers that don't want to pay, and then people agree to do it without getting paid, so more people ask for it without being paid. So it's kind of eroded it in a way that makes it really hard to get paid for doing what you're doing, and it sucks. But um, for the most part, people do tend to assume that I get paid more than I do, um, which is depressing because I should be getting paid a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
I feel like I went off on a tangent there and forgot the
No, no,
question.
it's fine. The kind of main bit of the question was just like, should an artist starve or should an artist be honest and go, I think I should get paid.
Um, yeah. Well, I always think artists should get paid because not getting paid sucks. But some of the best stuff gets done when you're not being paid and you're like eating shitty food and not able to like pay for anything that isn't, like the cheapest of shit. Some of the best stuff was written and like made like that. Like that's kind of how I spent the last year or two of my modelling stuff, like not having a lot of money. And I'm not saying that I made like really amazing stuff, but I feel like it helped. So yeah.
This is usually the time I rob 10 questions from Have you ever seen the Inside the Actor Studio?
No.
Well, there's a famous bunch of 10 questions he asks, where he robbed from a French uh, journalist, I believe. I'm not sure. I usually spring these on the people I ask to do interviews with. There's only been one person. Like, at the beginning of the year, I said I'm going to do a lot more interviews because I had a lot more people who said, "Yeah, I'll do an interview with you," and then a lot of people just like didn't get back to me. So I've done one
Uh-huh.
interview so far this year. You be the second person.
Okay.
But I'm so not desperately trying. I have a few more lined up. So I usually send my favorite interview to people. So I'm pretty sure I sent you the Valentino one.
Yeah, you
Because
did.
that's like one of my favorite interviews I did. Because I actually met her in the city centre in Dublin and talked to her
Mm-hmm.
like a real person. Which I
Mm-hmm.
would rather do all my interviews in person. Skype's fun and all, but if one of us has bad internet, it's just like
Yeah.
what you say? What? So there's 10 quick questions.
Okay.
And what is your favorite word?
Oh, right now I've got I like weird words, so I think my favorite one right now is debauchery.
Debauchery.
I don't know, it's like I like how it flows and how it's spelt. I like words like that. Um, but yeah.
What is your least favorite word?
Um, hmm, probably moist. I don't know. Probably that's the one everyone says, isn't it?
Oh, you're the first person to say. I think you're the
Am
first or
I?
second person. I'm sure Lady Metal D said that. But I
Yeah.
know loads of people hate the word moist.
Yeah, words like that. Well, no.
Um, hey, the next two ones, I should always rewrite them. What creatively turns you on?
Do you mean like what like creatively inspires me or like
Yeah,
what creatively like literally turns
because
me
it's
on?
really actually what turns
What?
you on, and I'm like, that's none of our business. So what creatively turns you on or inspires you to do more?
Um oh gosh. I don't know. Um it's a really hard one. Uh I like seeing um people that have a really strong sense of individuality. Like if I see something creative that's really individual, I enjoy it. Like really out there and like alternative. I think. I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah, Valentino never answered one of these. Um, what turns you off? Basically, creatively turns you off.
um, Kind of bland, rehashed stuff. If I was to take modeling as an example of something creative, like when I see people that do like cheesy pin-up stuff that's all the same poses and it's crap and the lighting's horrible, that's just like nope. Like stuff that's really not um, in the least bit creative. Um, I guess I don't know. Probably just bland, boring, by the numbers stuff.
What is your favorite sound or noise? What sound or noise do you love?
Hmm. Oh, I don't know. um. Well, it's kind of hard to describe. When I'm doing music, there's a couple of synth sounds that I like really enjoy, but they're really hard to describe. So I don't know. There's some synth noises that just like appeal to me. Not sure. Um, Gosh, that's a hard
Yeah,
one.
usually all are hard and difficult. I would never want to do these 10 questions. I've offered my friend Lydia to do my interview for this, and I asked her, I was like, if you do, I want you to get everyone I've interviewed to ask a question, And she was like, all right. And I asked her about 6 months ago. It's never happened. Because I'd hate to answer these questions. What sound or noise do you hate?
Stuff like dentist drills or lawnmowers, like, and like bagpipes, like really droning, sounds like that. I can't stand them.
No, you're not a fan of the bagpipes.
Oh, no.
What is your favourite curse word?
Um, I don't know. I say fuck a lot, but I think really it's cunt. I think just because like my mum can't stand it when people say cunt, so if it like slips out, like she like recoils, and it's really funny. So I think that's probably my favorite
Yeah,
one.
I usually just say bunt.
But
I got that from a Monty Python joke sketch. And then
yeah.
I recently rewatched it, and they've cut the line out. Dead on YouTube, and they actually
Oh,
cut the line out. It's the most
uh,
devastating thing of my childhood, of a show from the 70s, cutting that line out. Um, what? What is that one? What profession other than your own would you like to attend?
um, hmm. Well, I do a lot of stuff, but I guess like when I was growing up, I always wanted to be like a doctor or a scientist, and that sort of didn't happen. I wasn't smart enough, but yeah, I think like a doctor that would be really cool. Um, or I just go into the deep end and just like do like porn. That would be like probably more profitable and easier. Um,
Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
um, anything with a lot of manual labor or like anything that well I'm like useless at sports or lifting things. I've got like tiny little hands and I'm like so I couldn't be an Olympic athlete at all. And I couldn't probably do anything in construction or anything like that. So that would be like no goes. Couldn't do it. I'd faint.
Right. If heaven exists, what would you
Hmm.
like to hear God say when you arrived at the pearly gates?
Um, I'd like him to say that it's nice to see that you didn't fuck up too badly. um, that would be nice. Um, but I think, to be honest, if heaven does exist, I'm not going there, which is cool. Whatever.
I heard this fantastic T-shirt idea last night. Actually, someone wants to get a T-shirt going. I met God, but he doesn't believe in me. So that was the last question of the 10 awkward questions that no one likes or enjoys, but I like
Okay.
because I robbed it from a show who robbed it from someone else.
Yeah.
This past year, we've had a lot of deaths in
Yeah.
Hollywood and musicians, and whose death, if any of them did, hit you the hardest?
Um, I I was pretty sad when David Bowie died. Like I grew up listening to him and everything. I wasn't like devastated. Like I didn't cry or anything, but it was pretty sad. I can't actually like so many people have died that I can't actually like
Prince,
remember anyone else that died.
Prince,
Gosh.
Lemmy.
Oh yeah, Lemmy was sad. But I don't know, like when celebrities die, I don't really I like usually it doesn't really affect me too much. Think in fact I think the last one that I got a little upset over was Rick Mail, just because I love
Oh
Rick
yeah, that
Mail.
was
But
truly devastating for me. I
yeah,
grew up
I'm like,
watching
uh,
Bottom, the young ones.
yeah. I always liked The New Statesman. I don't know
Yeah,
if you saw that one.
he's so good in that show.
No. Like I always like when people talk about Rick Mail, but like they're always like, oh, Bottom are the young ones. And I'm like, did you see the New Statesman? And they're like, no. And I'm like, but dude, like, it works so well now. Like, I was watching it, like, a couple of months ago, and I was like, it's just, like, oh my gosh, it still works.
It's just his normal
Um,
evil character, just as a politician.
yeah. I, like, I love that sort of stuff. Um, but yeah, no, that was sad. Um, I can't think who else. Mm. Um, yeah, no.
Right. I thought I would have got more out of that, but yeah, that's fine. The Bowie death hit me kind of. That was an interesting one because his album just came out, and I loved
Mhm.
his new album, and I just listened to it tons of times that weekend, and woke up from a text from my ma at 7 in the morning going, Bowie died. It's like,
Oh.
thanks. That was a fun time. But a few weeks ago, the BBC, the Proms on Radio 6
Mhm.
did David Bowie, the Proms, and it's like nearly 2.5 hour show, and it was absolutely fantastic. And by chance, I found it because I heard Iggy Pop was doing a 2 hour show of Bowie stuff. I was like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to listen to that because Iggy Pop has such a deep voice. He's such a great radio voice. He should do audiobooks.
Mhm.
He just has that kind of voice. And then
Yeah.
like, oh, it's gonna be doing the proms later on. I was like, oh god, that sounds awesome. It was a fantastic show. I wish more people knew about it. I wish I knew about it because I would have. Because I listened to it and then I found out there's a 2 hour video of it, and it was just fantastic stuff. And it really got me inspired to try more different ways of approaching music.
Yeah.
Because all I do is, I only need 3 chords, and you can do a song with 3 chords.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I just went on a tangent there just about that proms. Everyone should have watched that. It was fantastic. Just moving on to Stephen King because he's so awesome. Have you seen the show Stranger Things on Netflix?
Yes. Yes. I'm most of the way done now. I think I've got like 2 episodes to go, and it's like my favorite thing right now. I was watching it last night with my dad. It was so good.
It's yeah. I won't talk about the ending, even though it was
Yeah.
amazing. I saw that I was browsing on Netflix as you do, trying to find a documentary. They have a great documentary on Nina Simone that I've watched a few
Mhm.
times. But I saw that, and every time I saw it, I thought it was about Stephen King, Stranger Things, because it just looked like Stephen King. And
Uh-huh.
after I watched it, and I watched some more videos, like 7 things you never knew about Stranger Things, and I know it's the most geekiest thing I've ever learned. They use the exact same font he's used on every single book.
It's
So
cool.
they wanted to make a very 80s and very horror theme. So you think Stephen King, you
Mhm.
think It and The Thing,
Yeah.
to make it very 80s. And I just thought that
Yeah.
was a great fact. I love that little details of
Mhm.
just pinpointing like this is of the year.
Oh, it's so good. Um, yeah.
Talking about Bowie's death and Stranger Things didn't date this interview. Nothing will.
Um,
Well, I'm just about out of questions. Is
mhm.
there anything you'd like to ask or talk about before we call it to an end?
Uh, I'm not sure. I think we kind of talked about everything that I do, pretty much. No. Um, do you have any like last minute off the cuff questions that you'd like to ask?
Uh, I also do another thing called 20 questions,
Uh-huh.
and it's basically getting. I play 20 questions with someone with 3 rounds. I usually ask people I do interviews if they want to do it on another video sometime.
Um, I'm not very good at 20 questions. We might have to do it in another
Yeah,
video.
it's usually the way. But you, not spoiling anything. But
Mhm.
you will be back on this channel eventually with something we're working on.
Yes, hopefully, hopefully soon. Um, I'm pretty like everything's gone really hectic right now with like every aspect of what I do, but hopefully
Yeah,
soon.
it's a project like I haven't talked about on YouTube yet, but it's the biggest
Mhm.
thing I've ever done on YouTube, and it's been the most stressful thing I've also done in my entire life. So yeah, there will be something coming up
Yes.
soon with no spoilers, and I hope you all get to enjoy it, and I hope you were able to do it
Yes, definitely. I'll definitely be able to do it.
because I want to kill people, the amount of people who dropped out of it. But with that, we'll end the
Mhm.
interview on a cliffhanger of spoilers. Uh,
Okay.
I've been Hodeman, that's Hedgehog Man, blah blah blah, or Kev, and you have been the fantastic model, singer, musicianal person, Lucy. Lucy, so, Fallen. It's Fallen.
Lucy
Fallen. It
Fallen.
is Fallen. I wasn't sure about that every time.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you for agreeing to doing this interview.
Thank you for having me.
I never know how to end this. Bye.
Bye.